in a musical, it's very important that songs start naturally. And we planted some wind chimes in the tree there. And if you pay attention, you can hear the beginning notes
Why is this
of
happening?
Rocket to the Moon, but they're just from the wind making these chimes and hit those beautiful little notes. And wind to me is always a symbol of a spiritual presence, a gentle breeze that starts. Music and the wind and the animation, you use all of it together to create a spell for the audience.
I look up in the heavens and I can see your face, your gentle eyes in moonlight. I feel your warm embrace.
Audrey wrote this script as a love letter to her daughter because she knew at the time she was writing it that she probably would not live to see this film completed.
Early on, as we were figuring out our casting for Fei Fei, we brought Kathy Ang in just to do some scratch and some demo records of the songs. And there's a quality about Kathy that just brings out this this innocence, but also this determination and the character. And I think she emulated all the things we wanted to highlight in this character of Fei Fei.
Can you see what nobody sees? Can you hear my voice up on the moon?
The truly unique thing about that take was not just that it was the first time she sang it ever, but also that usually in a film you might take different parts from different takes and piece them together, and you always kind of do that to try and find the best version of the song as a whole. But her take is a complete take, just one take. She did it all in one go, and that truly is the version that's in the film.
In my rocket to the moon.
It was the second week of March. The whole world got the call, everybody go home. We were 5 to 6 weeks away from finishing just animation. We still had to go through lighting and comp and post and, record the score and all of those things that you typically would do in person. And all of us were kind of in this place of the unknown. We didn't know, was it going to be 2 weeks, 4 weeks? And here we are a year later, and it's just amazing how dedicated everybody was.
So here we find Fei Fei at the end of the movie. She's gone to the moon and back and gone through an incredible healing, learning to love somebody new. And they have this wonderful bond together. But this scene is really about a time for the audience to reflect.
I feel like this scene is really the moment where we see Fei Fei connect with her mother in the form of this beautiful white bird, and that they are able to have this moment of peace together where the mother knows that Fei Fei is healed and that she can move on as well. And it's so beautiful.
The acting feels so natural. Even just the way that Fei Fei kneels down onto that stone. Kids are so flexible. She can have both of her knees kind of stretched out flat. Gennie, it reminded me of your son, that he would come to work and you'd see him just fold up like that. And it was like, so I storyboarded this thinking of him and the way he knelt down. And it's really just a testament to the animation team that put that kind of truth in this. And that scarf represents her mom too. It's a drawing actually I did of Chang'e that we placed on that scarf. And in the beginning, you watch those, that silk design turn into hand-drawn animation. It was very important for me that Chang'e be represented in the most reverential way, because we were going to be borrowing Chang'e from the Chinese culture, and we were basically going to turn her upside down on her head, and we had to bring her back to that place of dignity. And when I look at this moment here where Fei Fei looks at Chang'e on that scarf, I'm so happy that what we present is a Chang'e that has healed, is deeper, is warmer, it's all in that expression. There's a dignity and there's a grace to her. And that's what, right after it, Fei Fei holds that scarf and treasures the memory that she's had of Chang'e and her mom. It's everything comes together in this moment of valuing the journey that she's been on. And this is something she treasures in that pose. And the surprise visit of this white bird, there's something about it. It was very important this bird be very real. And Fei Fei squints like, do I know you? And birds can be kind of scary when they're looking at you. And we worked really hard to give just this tiniest little corner of a smile as the bird looks, and even softening partly an eyebrow, but I mean, so much that you would never see it, but just makes it a little bit warmer and connects with Fei Fei.
Another thing I love about this moment is it actually is a moment that is about Dad having healed as well, and the journey that he's gone through in this film, because this moment, this conversation he has with Fei Fei is the first time he's acknowledged Mom in this whole movie. I also particularly love the interaction that they have, because I felt like also it was so culturally authentic to the Chinese culture. The way that he expresses himself and the words he says, you know he cares about her more than anything in the world. You know that they love each other. And I think that's another layer to this scene that I think is so special.
We remote in we'd start at 2 a.m. and all of us would be on these calls listening to this beautiful, beautiful score. I mean, it was such a wonderful thing to experience. And, we would be sending notes via text messages, and then it was just like this really amazing way of communicating when we could have all just been there, but we figured it out. And it was really because everybody just leaned in and was like, let's make it work. And again, those musicians, our composer, Stephen Price, everybody at the synchron stage, like they just went above and beyond to make sure everybody was safe, but also to deliver what was an exceptional score.
And Gennie, what you're talking about with Stephen's score, I can never watch this scene here without choking up. But it's the emotion of that score as the white bird flies over Fei Fei's head, and then this beautiful melody. Da, 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 da. And Stephen recorded that, I think it was on Christmas night. He said by himself, he just played the guitar and he had a glass of wine and he whistled. And that simple little melody here is just growing, swelling. And it's, it was at 3:00 in the morning. I remember them recording this and imagining this day. I mean, even just talking about it now, it really, really is special.
I think the fact that the entire crew was living through this global pandemic of uncertainty, we woke every morning certain that we were going to lean into making this film. I think each one of us knew that this film was so special, and that it wasn't just about getting across the finish line. It was about let's honor this film and make it the best that we can.